Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is the big man Boisterous coming to you with some Diamond League destruction from the Abyssal Caverns. Up here in the top right hand corner we have xeQtr spawning in as the blue Zerg, and over here in the top left corner we have Chakras spawning in as the red Protoss. As this game starts off, we have both players going for fairly standard builds. xeQtr actually going up to 10 drones before getting that Overlord, and he is going to be going for an extractor trick right here. I'm guessing he's going to cancel it at any moment, or is he actually just going to be rushing gas? Huh, he might just be going for 10 gas, which would be interesting. Not quite sure what build requires that. Does look like Chakras is getting his gateway down. I think that gateway is a bit late, but, you know, not really all that bad. xeQtr did go for a 10 gas. That's a really fast gas for Zerg. I mean, that's either going to be a roach rush, and even with a roach rush, you don't need that much gas unless you're going for a really fast, like 7 roach rush. And I'm still not sure about that. Chakra's not going for anything out of the ordinary so far. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten his gas yet. Usually you want to get that while your gateway is building, and then as soon as you start, as soon as your cybercore finishes, you have enough for, you know, a stalker. Or maybe, but now I know why he didn't get a second gas. He is going for 2 gateways. And 2 gating on this map, especially in these positions, can be pretty reasonable, especially if Chakras needs to look like he wants to block this expansion, and then just not do it, because he needs to have xeQtr go for that kind of early economic lead. And if xeQtr was going for like a 15 expand here, he would be completely dead in the water. Which of course he isn't, but I think that's what Chakras was really hoping for with this. Because with this fast of a gas, I'm surprised he's not getting speed. That kind of is making me think that he's going to be going for that sort of really fast roach rush play. But even if you were going for a roach rush, you would typically stop getting gas right now, and he is going to be going for speed. I still expect to see some sort of ridiculously fast tech or something out of him. Chakras is getting his gateways up, and of course, you know, as it is one of my games, there has to be lag. God, what is going on with this computer? It's always beautiful, and then as soon as I start recording, lag strikes. So as we wait for this lag to clear up, it doesn't look like xeQtr is going for anything out of the ordinary. It looks like he's setting up to build an expansion with this drone. And damn, this lag is awful. Down to 1 frame per second. Oh, and there we go, and it's done. That was longer than most of my lag is. That was weird. It does look like xeQtr is getting his queen up. I have a feeling this queen's a bit late. Usually you see people get their queens around like 3:45. But it's still not that bad. But these zealots might be able to clean house. Because zealots, as we all know, are pretty good against drones. And it does look like xeQtr is getting a roachborn, and he's not producing any zerglings, so I think he's going to be trying to hold this off purely with his queen and a spine crawler. 1 spine crawler, I don't think that's going to be enough. I think he needs to drop 2 more if he really wants to hold this off. He did have to cancel that hatchery from going up. And it does look like enough zerglings are finally starting to come out, but I think that these zealots are going to be able to do some crazy damage before anything bad happens to them. Especially if xeQtr gets in a bad position to fight them off in, like he's at right now. The zerglings come out, but this zealot is going to be able to clean those zerglings up. They're not going to be able to do nearly enough damage to him. And there he is baiting them out of the room. But these zealots are cleaning house on the workers. I mean, that was a ridiculous amount of workers killed. Workers killed 9 workers killed. That brings it from, that's a 17 to 10 drone to probe ratio. That's pretty ridiculous. I think that xeQtr is finally going to be able to clean this up now, but this is just not going to be good for him. These zerglings are doing a reasonable job at killing all the zealots, but, you know, this is a lot of damage, and if his second queen goes down, which is not, but if it did, that would just be awful. It does look like Chakras is going right for the 4 gate. You know, if 2 gates don't work, maybe 4 gates will. You're already far enough ahead, why not? The only thing that xeQtr really comes out of this with is the Roach tech. He did manage to get the Roach tech, and he should be able to establish that expansion pretty soon. I don't think he really needs to be that afraid, although this is a chrono-boosted warp gate, which is going to be pretty dangerous for him. It does look like the Zergling is going to do a bit of harassing the worker line, but not get any kills, and he really needs to do some damage to that worker line if he wants to be effective. Other than that, not a whole lot going on in Chakras base. He is finally getting Stalkers, so he's going to be going for a really heavy Stalker composition in this follow-up. And I think that if he went for more of a Sentry Zealot army, he would be in a better shape, because Zealot Sentry can pretty much tear through drone lines. With good force fields, it can tear through a Roach army, especially a Roach army that doesn't have that many Roaches in it. And Zealots just tear through, you know, Zerglings anyway. But I mean, like, Stalker Bulls are just too easy to fight off with basic Zerg units. I mean, Zerglings essentially counter Stalkers. Stalkers don't do nearly enough damage to them, and Zerglings just completely destroy them, and there's just so many of them that Stalkers can't kill them all fast enough. But he is going to be going for a heavy Stalker army. It doesn't even look like he's going to try to get any sentries out, which is, I would say, not the most optimal choices, because if he really wanted to do this well, he should get like 3 sentries and just cycle force fields on this ramp and just stop the Zerg from expanding for as long as possible, because that's a lot of damage that you can do with a very little army. It does look like Stalkers are going to show up more now, but really these Roaches do a lot of damage to Stalkers. I mean, they don't completely destroy them, but with this many more Lings on the way, these Lings do destroy Stalkers. Here come the Zerglings now, and they're getting a pretty reasonable surround on these Stalkers, and with the artillery fire from the Roaches, they're going to be able to clean this attack up no problem. The proxy pylon is down, but it doesn't even look like he's using the proxy pylon to reduce. xeQtr's money is getting pretty high, but he's not as far behind on workers as he was before, and he hasn't yet captured that expansion. I really don't think he should have canceled that expansion so early, because I don't think Chakras even saw it. I literally do not believe that Chakras noticed that, because he did not even try to snipe it. All the drones are getting pulled off the line, and so far a drone actually has not died. He managed to keep all his drones alive during that attack. He's continuing with his Zergling production, and these Zerglings are going to be able to clean up these Stalkers no problem. These Stalkers don't even have blink, they're just going to get absolutely destroyed. And I think that xeQtr could probably just go into super offensive mode, although he is transferring into some defensive spine crawlers, which is definitely the right choice in a situation like this. Those Zealots are going to be popping in. But I think he's just going to, yep, there goes the probe. I'm guessing he's going to try to bait these Zealots away and then kill the pylon. Or he's just going to run back to his base. And the Dark Shrine is coming out of Chakras. So yet again, if you fail one time, and then you fail the next time, you know what time it is? It's Dark Templar time. These Zerglings are going to try to poke up, but they're not going to be able to do anything. They might get this pylon for free, but I think these Zealots are going to get there in time. I bet that these Zerglings could actually swing around and then clean this up, but it does look like the Roaches are already working on it. So xeQtr's gonna come out of this pretty okay, especially if you consider the fact that, oh yeah, he's still 8 drones behind, but I don't think that's nearly as much damage as Chakras needs to really claw back, to really get ahead in this game. I mean, he's kind of not going for any economy at all. He hasn't even started thinking about his expansion. I think he's really just, he's a one-trick pony. He's going up to 4 gates now. He's just going to be going for Dark Templar now. Because, you know, if one cheese doesn't work, try another. Yeah, I don't know how effective these guys are going to be. The layer isn't going to be done. So if he attacked with these Dark Templar now, but he's going to run them away. I don't know quite what he's trying to do here. I mean, if he got in there and he sniped off this hatchery and sniped off the Evo chamber and killed any spore crawlers that would be up by then, he would be set. He would be perfectly fine. The layer isn't going to be done. It wouldn't have been done if he had started running his Dark Templar over, and I don't think the Evo chamber would have even been done. I mean, that would have just been good game for xeQtr. So I don't know why he's holding these guys back and letting xeQtr tech more. That's not really the optimal strategy whenever you're trying to, whenever you're fighting a Zerg. And this Slayer's gonna finish, and I think xeQtr's gonna have enough money to drop down an Overseer at any time. Plus, he already has this this Evo Chamber, and his army gets attacked by Dark Templars, and he starts morphing an Overseer. And this is not gonna end well for these DTs. They might snipe off this this hatchery. Ooh, that hatchery is taking a lot of damage, but it's not going to go down. These Dark Templar are all going to get cleaned up in time. And xeQtr with a pretty well executed defense there. And it looks like these Zealots are going to try to run, but I don't think that they're going to be able to get home in time. These Zerglings, interestingly, running into the Zealots, and the Zealots just not even trying to fight them off because they know that these Roaches are behind and ready to strike. Oh, it looks like he is finally going for a base at 15 minutes. I don't think that's the optimal timing. He does have Dark Templars with his army, but the Overseer is with xeQtr's army, and I think that really just the solid attack now would completely wipe Chakras off the map, because you can just kite those Zealots forever with Roaches, especially if those Roaches have speed, which they do not. And it looks like Banelings are coming out. An interesting tech switch for this late in the game. I'd have expected to see some Hydras and then just, you know, a Hydra highway with some Overlords, but I guess I can kind of see how Banelings will work into this, because they can just wipe out a Zealot army like this, or a Stalker Ball, because Chakras really doesn't have any tech at all. Chakras is finally going for a Forge, but I don't think it's really going to be worth it. I think that this attack is just going to be able to wipe them off the map. Because, I mean, this Overseer is here, it doesn't have anything that can snipe it off. Or, well, Chakras doesn't have anything that can snipe that Overseer off. And all of his Dark Templar are dead anyway, and these Lings are going to run right by into the mineral line. Some Stalkers are warping in, which is an interesting choice. I'm actually surprised that Chakras didn't try to morph any of his DTs into Archons, because Archons are really good against Zerg, even if that Zerg has Roaches. And Chakras saying, I don't know how you came back. Well, Chakras, I think it had to do with the fact that you took your really successful cheese that got you really, really far ahead and basically would have won you the game, and then you decided to cheese again and gamble all of your ability to win that game on it. I think that if Chakras had expanded right after that really effective Zealot play, I think he would have been perfectly fine. Or if he had attacked earlier with those Dark Templar, but xeQtr's coming in with 24 Zerglings, and he was just going to be able to wipe Chakras off the map. So thank you, xeQtr, for sending this game in. If you guys want your games casted, and again, I am still in high demand for games to cast, and I'm still in high demand for viewers to send their games in, and you can send those games in to boisteroussc2@gmail.com. And if you guys want to watch any of the other games I have casted, I think I have another game from xeQtr up on my channel. You guys can check it out at youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and this is Boisterous signing out.